Let's go, boys and girls. Give me 1 second and I'll get into my bias and stuff. Just 1 second here. Okay, just 1 minute. I have a bearish bias right now, but kind of waiting for 9:30. There we go. Okay. All right. I want to pull up a few charts before we start. This is a 5-minute chart right now. I want to zoom out to the hourly. What do we have here? What are we looking at? What are we looking for? I really like these relative equal lows. We have two relative equal lows within this 1 hour BISI. It also is a daily buy side imbalance as well. So we could return back into that because we barely breached it here. And then we could want to trade into that again. Although, what have we been? We've been bullish. We've hit up a premium SIBI here. So I'm not diminishing the fact that we could end up trading into London high here, into new week opening gap, and into previous day high. Those are all possibilities. I want to see what we're doing. I don't really like how we took this low here, and now we're kind of consolidating here. We're accumulating, and then we also took this low here. So that looks kind of bullish that we could be starting to see some displacement higher, but overall, I am bearish because of these nice lows here, and then we also have this inefficiency. If we go to the 5-minute chart, we have this real nice clear inefficiency that I kind of want to see this get traded into Friday. I would like to see a manipulation into this, but obviously we're just leaving it for a later time. So we have this 5-minute BISI that's clear. Why is it a nice draw on liquidity? Because it's below an old low. That makes this a good candidate for draw on liquidity. And obviously we have these relative equal lows. Notice how Friday on NFP we had this low, we traded below. So sell side's already been kind of taken here, and then we have this trade higher, sell side delivery, the buy side delivery. So this is kind of balanced here. It doesn't need to be traded into. And then we have this taking this low, then trading higher. And at 9:30 we displaced from a first presented for value gap, or 8:30. Sorry, trade higher, retracing back into 15-minute for value gap, and then this blue is a daily volume imbalance, trading up higher into that daily SIBI. And then this is the wick constant encroachment that we've been looking at through the mentorship. Look here on the 5-minute chart. We're within a 5-minute buy side imbalance. We have pre-market sell side, and then we have pre-market buy side. Pre-market buy side is going to be changed to this high. But notice how we took that high here. Now we're back within the range. So we're already showing some high resistance liquidity run signatures because it's not time yet. So I really kind of want to be patient this week. I'm only letting myself take 3 trades. So I'm going to be very picky, and I'm just going to let setups pass me by this week. That's kind of my goal, is to be a little patient, because if we see here on the daily chart, this is my daily chart where I have pretty much like every array that's important on the daily chart. Kind of just want to, we trade up into this city, and now we're back in here. We just had an expansion. So what can happen after expansion? Retracement or consolidation, or a possible reversal. We do have this buy side imbalance still that we respected the low end of that, and that's where those relatively good lows are. Right now we're at previous wick constant encouragement here. So this is a redelivered rebalanced here. You have a wick, and then you have this would have been a buy side imbalance if this wick wasn't here. So this should be sensitive if we do want to trade higher based off this daily chart. And then we're also within this old daily volume balance, which is that new week opening gap. Then we have this new day opening gap here. It's kind of what those. If I go on my other chart, I'll show that. And yeah, we have this old SIBI here that we could want to trade back into as well. There's a lot of factors here. Nothing's just super clear. It's a Monday. Just gonna let it do what it wants to do. We've already had kind of if we look at this in terms of like daily candles, we've already kind of had a larger range here going into overnight. So I definitely want to be patient here. And this is ES. ES is traded into this SIBI. Look at this SIBI high there. And then also you have that new week opening gap there. ES does not trade up into this new week opening gap. And if you looked at NQ, the same high that we took, that was our draw on liquidity last week, we haven't traded up into that. And we just hit constant encouragement of that. So look how SIBI high, constant encouragement of that wick, new week opening gap. Those are all aligning here, and that's what ES uses. ES has not yet traded into this discount wick. We have this lower discount volume balance that we could trade into. We have this buy side imbalance. It's just not super clear, not super obvious. So nothing that I really love so far. What chart is it? Let's roll with this. We look at the 1 hour chart. We have the first presented fair value gap after 12 on a Monday. So your weekly open, you have this SIBI that we respected. Then we have this 1 hour SIBI. So I'll only be bullish if we trade above this first fair value gap and truly disrespect it. And other than that, I'm still looking for lower prices. We still haven't traded into that 1 hour fair value gap, which I'm expecting 930 to likely manipulate up into that, create a juice swing to then trade lower into discount draws. We still have these nice discount draws on liquidity that I like. But yeah, overall we're just range bound here, just consolidating. Here we have pre-market buy side. We have a London low here, London high up here, and then we have pre-market sell side here. So just gonna wait, just be patient. Nothing really to kind of observe. Also, what I don't like is how we are within this new week opening gap. We have this larger new week opening gap, so we might be wanting to spend time within that. So gonna be conscious of that this morning. Okay. We have about 9 minutes till market opens. If you look at the 5 minute chart, look how we're using this buy side imbalance with this new day opening gap. This old new day opening gap. I posted this in Discord. We have this buy side imbalance here, and then we have this wick. This should have been respected as a bearish array, but notice how we're in this buy side imbalance. After we've hit and utilized this new week opening gap, We've had expansion, come back, retracement. Then we have expansion up into this buy side, clearing that out, but failing to take this high because that's where the 1 hour SIBI is. So notice how I'm guessing that we're gonna want to trade up into this 1 hour SIBI. That's just a little short term draw liquidity, nothing to trade. Yeah, just stuff to watch and monitor. This is my chart where I pretty much have a lot of arrays on this, so this can get kind of cluttered if you don't know kind of what you're looking at, but I just like to have it. Excuse me. Here we have midnight opening range, and then we have this first presentation. This is the first presented displacement after 12. So for me, we would have to trade above this new week opening gap high, above this first displacement, above this new day opening gap low for me to be bullish. Because as you see here, what do we have? We have a lot of balanced back and forth price action here, and we've displaced lower. So this to me is the only inefficient price action that we should need to trade back into this area. Above here, it's already balanced. We've already spent sufficient time. If we trade above that, we're likely going to be looking for new week opening gap. Then notice last night how we had our first presented electronic fair value gap. I included both of these because they're kind of were the same thing. You have to include that volume balance, so I'm just going to include this gap. You could refine it to just this. And also, this really isn't like that much of a gap. Notice how it's still within this balanced price range, but I'm still using that. And then we have this buy side balance. We're trading up to that, like the body's respecting that. Trade lower, we have a balanced price range. SIBI, boom, respected, along with old midnight opening range. SIBI, boom, balanced price range again. Manipulation higher, trade lower, balanced price range, boom. Old daily high, boom. We're falling short of that new week opening gap high, so this is still going to be drawing liquidity. This is still going to have interest here. And then we trade up, short term, large fair value gap higher. This is manipulation, trade lower. SIBI, boom. New week opening gap low, target. And look at that, old new day opening gap. You have old first presented fair value gap. Old daily low we're reaching up into with that inversion fair value gap right there. Trade lower, this is a 15-minute fair value gap that we trade up into. I believe it's this high that creates that 15-minute. Yeah, it should be. That's why we consolidate. So we trade up into that 15-minute fair value gap. We have a SIBI. Boom, sell off. And now we're just consolidating, kind of generating orders, waiting for 9:30 to manipulate a certain way, and then we'll see where we get first presented fair value at. We'll see what liquidity that we take. If it's not super clear, then there's nothing to do. I'm looking for first presented fair value gap as a discount array. We have sell side there. See, ES, it's important to note, ES did not create a 1 hour SIBI here. So that's why I don't love a little short. But if we do notice here that we have this SIBI here on the 15-minute chart, we have created a 15-minute SIBI. So notice how we're just distorting time here. There's nothing going on here, but we have left these lows here intact on ES. And on NQ, we have taken those lows, and we have this SIBI here. So I'm not looking at that as an SMT that we're going to go higher, but just something to trade back in here and still use these lows. So I do like how ES has left these equal lows here. That's always going to be a draw on liquidity, smooth lows. So at some point, ES is going to want to trade into those. If we just manipulate at 9:30, then come back up in the range, then that's going to be less favorable. If we're going to manipulate at 9:30, I would want to see us trade up higher into that civvy to then trade lower. I wouldn't want to see us trade lower to then trade higher to then trade lower again. Anyways, enough with like all this back and forth. Let's just see what happens, because that's the most important thing of what actually happens in the chart, what the chart's doing right now. Because like you worry about all these things, but it really only matters about what the current chart is presenting us. We have this volume imbalance that I wanted to stretch over, just because I liked it. We also have this volume imbalance here, kind of just some inefficient trading, or I mean, efficient in terms we're going back and forth, but we have a lot of little volume imbalances within this trading here. Notice how this is just completely balanced, failing to create a fair value gap, failing to create a fair value gap, failing to create a fair value gap, and we're within that 5-minute busy still. We're in this 5-minute busy still. So expecting us to come up, trade pre-market buy side to first presented fair value gap high there. Nothing for me to engage, nothing to care about. This is what I do want to see. I do want to see us trade higher first, to then if we want to trade lower. How often will you live stream? I mean, it depends. Sometimes I'm just like, yo, I'm gonna go live, or I say I'm gonna start going live again. I feel like I should start going live at least one time every day for at least one macro. But it also depends on like my schedule, what I have. Sometimes I just like to study and just watch price and just study from the own comfort of just not having to do anything. But then it's also just very beneficial to have a live stream of what price action did. And like if I'm forced myself to commentate over a price action, I'm therefore kind of focused more and I'm more into it, which I really like. But then if I want to trade, I do like trading a lot better than like just at the privacy of just me in front of the charts. But if I'm trading in front of people, or if I'm trading on a live stream, it's a little bit different. But at the end of the day, I think I should start going live more. I want to do more review videos too. The thing is, like, sometimes I have commitments, like during the week, I do certain things, and I don't have enough time. But I could start just doing like midday reviews, just in the middle of the day. But I will say my daily reviews that I do on that I post on my Discord every day, those do take a while. Like those do take like 2 hours. Like I'm very I'm not gonna say OCD, but I do like to have them look nice and presentable. All right, notice how we used volume balance here, trade up into that first presented 1 hour fair value gap. I would not like to see price trade outside of that, so I would want to see that just really get respected there. We left some nice relative equal lows here on NQ. If we study ES, as we pointed out, we do have those relative equal lows on ES here. Notice how ES had taken those lows, but we have these lows that are nice. Okay, 1 hour fair value gap trade into. So 1 hour chart. This could be a. I just don't like it as much because we have taken sell side here, but overall we are trading to a 1 hour civvy, which should cause price to displace lower because we do have bearish order flow here. That's my main focus so far. Yeah, nice. Look at that. If your initial high right here. Oh, I don't want to see that get taken again. I want to see us start to just trade lower here. see. Hopefully, we're just wanting to trade up into this civvy here on the 15-second. No first presented for value gap yet on the 1 minute chart. Just stay patient. I guess you could have probably entered here at this civvy low, but there's just no reason to. I mean, yes, if you're wanting to trade that, but for me, I'm just staying patient because I don't really care to try to catch smart money reversals because I don't really need that. I just need the meat on the bones. I do like how we are respecting this 15-minute civvy. We should roll over here. Look at that volume imbalance though. Still a factor. Initial high, initial low. I want to see which one we trade through with a body. If we're able to trade above this high with a body, that could be of significance, but I'm not really looking for that because we have pre-market sell side. We just taking pre-market buy side. I want to see us roll over here. If you do look at the 5-minute chart though, I don't like how we have traded in this fair value gap here to where we could trade up higher. So I really want to study this and see if this gets used as inversion because that's what I would want to see. Just not the greatest for like a daily range trade since we are in a discount. Like what have we done? We've just traded lower and we have traded below this low 1, 2, 3 times. So I just don't like how we're kind of in a more necessary discount. If we look at London low, London high, we're kind of around equilibrium of that. We're not even into a equilibrium of that, so that's why I don't like this short as much, which why we could trade up into this volume balance and then 5-2 first presented for value gap. Also, that 1 hour for value gap didn't provide as much displacement lower. Just staying still, staying patient. It also is Monday, so we could just be developing these lows here for a later in the week trade. Yeah, if we trade above this with a body, I don't like that. And see how we're disrespecting this 1 hour for value gap. This is looking kind of bullish here. Let's see if we want to trade up into this. "15-second civvy didn't offer displacement lower. So offer this down to this volume imbalance into this wick here. And now we're trading back up higher. Now we're looking for this first presented for value gap here. And notice how we use that 5-minute BISI here. So this is really where I'm looking at. We have this civvy here. So if this is still bearish, I want to see it trade above this. But if we're bullish, we should trade right through this bounce price range into London high, into this buy side liquidity pool right there. We have the civvy up here with 5-1 daily high. And then here we have previous day high. Then we have previous day low. Okay, we're back in that new company gap. Still no first presented for value gap. This is that first displacement of the midnight open range. So this is where we're really looking at. This should cause a reversal if we're bearish. ES is just straight above its pre-market buy side. ICT's posted in Telegram. Oh yeah, we also have 10 a.m. news. 19993 So ES is, or ICT is looking for discount. I kind of forgot that we had 9:30 news. I need to get better at that. Sometimes I forget. We have 10 a.m. news, which honestly for me to trade, 10 a.m. news is my least favorite to look for. And that's how we're having no first presented for value gap so far. Move my face cam to the right. Is that one better? I don't even know if I do have the time frame. Where do you put that? Oh yeah. Yeah, is that better? It's gray though. I don't know how to change that to black. The reviews are clutch too. Hey, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Notice how we're hitting new week opening gap high. Yeah, ES is in its midnight first presented for value gap too. Notice how ES has a new day opening gap here. Notice how now we are in a somewhat a premium here, so this could be a place where smart money's getting short before that 10 a.m. news driver. I do have a larger opening range gap. Notice that. Look at that though. Like even if this isn't like the high that we create, like that's just beautiful. No first presented for value gap yet, so nothing to really care for. 19996.25. ICT is looking at an old liquidity pool, I believe. Not that old. Is that pre-market buy-side liquidity? It's right here. Is that pre-market buy-side liquidity? No, notice that? It's beautiful. IC is looking at the 935 volume imbalance. I wish that candle retraced. Like if I'm entering before news, I want to see us retrace into that first presented for value gap a lot earlier than what we do now. I mean, we still have time. We still can retrace. We're also hitting a premium wick there, overlapping of two volume imbalances right there. If we like an ES, like this is just too smooth. Like ES respect to that 15-minute civvy, like the bodies. ES has this first presented for value gap, but you could enter here. I don't like how we trade above that first presented for value gap. It's gonna say the stop there. Let's see if we want to use this as discount, but I just don't like that. It's definitely manipulated. Before that 10 a.m. news. Trading above that first presented 1 hour for value gap. I do like ES here though. ES looks a lot better. What chart on ES did I have that 15-minute for value gap on? Yeah, it was this chart. It was 15-minute for value gap that ES is respecting. The bodies after we took pre-market sell side displacement for value gap. NQ is just looking a little more bullish here, whereas ES is more bearish. Just gonna wait for that 10 a.m. news. Now create a big wick on the 5-minute chart. Like how I was hitting that new day opening gap low. We're not really trading higher at all. Alright, now we are. We have this high here. I really want to see if it wants to trade outside that midnight open range. That's how we use this initial low, trade back higher. Yeah, NQ's looking kind of bullish here. Just waiting for that news. ES is still gripping onto that 15-minute value gap. I do like how we took this high. Now we're backwards in this range. That first presented for value gaps, pretty much that first presented 1 hour for value gap. Yeah, this news should distribute lower. Oh, ES has a nasty 1-minute volume imbalance there. Look at the first presented for value gap though. How nicely that's respected there on ES. ES has sell side. Obviously those relative equal lows. Look at that volume imbalance as well. Almost trading into it 2 times. Perfectly not. I'm just gonna wait for the 10 a.m. news. Cause like even if 10 a.m. news distributes lower, there's likely gonna be another second leg lower into further discount raise. I do like this first presented for buy gap, but since I already tried it, I barely got stopped, or I got stopped. I saved myself. Just gonna wait. I do like that though. Back in that first presented for buy gap. We also do have FOMC this week, so keep in mind. That was just a public service announcement right there. Yeah, this large inversion for value gap here. I always like to get constant curvature of those. They've cleared out both sell side and both buy side. ES is still left this low intact perfectly, so no matter what, I'm not really looking to go long. And we're still respecting that midnight opening range. Today's midnight opening range perfectly, so just definitely difficult to trade before news. There's two first presented for value gaps in very close proximity to each other, so that's why we're getting this back and forth. We are trading above current first presented for value gap. And we traded this buy side to balance, sell side inefficiency low. We traded right to that low. Is it a high probability right now? Not really. I do like this 5-minute chart though. It does look like we might want to see another leg up to London high. But then ES also has relative equal lows stacked. So it's a bunch of conflicting bias. But right now, it does look like we want this London high. We just traded above. Wait. Yeah, we just traded above midnight opening range. You look in the 5 minute. Either sell side imbalance here. Could act as a draw liquidity. Back above an old high. Look at all the time that ES has spent in a discount though. We have a straight impulse leg higher here. Yeah, nice. London high almost reached for here. There we go, London highs hit. See, I personally think that we'll just see, but I'm watching to see if we want to trade above previous day high or if we want to just trade into new week opening gap. Look on the daily chart. Notice how we're pulling off at that constant encroachment of that daily discount wick, which is also a new week opening gap low. So now my focus going into the rest of the week is still sell side. Like now on ES, we've just left these clean lows here. A little tiny sibby there. Yeah, there's nothing really in this chart that I really like. Yeah, London high taken. something good to study though is that if we did take sell side, and we're kind of just spending a lot of time here in a discount, then we use that to trade up higher into London High, not rolling over, especially since it's a Monday. It's likely not going to do a lot of damage. Now we're already trading back in the range after taking London High. If I was bullish, I would not want to see this. Yeah, I don't like anything here. I do want to see if we do want to trade below first presented for value gap. That would be my only shorting condition. But as of right now, we trade up, create a balanced price range. I would want to see this get respected. We're also at a new day opening gap high. Where's that low? New day opening gap low. Constant approach to that right there. Study ES. Large wick up into liquidity. Nice with the bodies on the 1 minute chart. ES has first presented for value gap. I mean, technically, ES first presented for value gap was actually this, but that's very small. And now look at this. I want to see us trade below that first presented fair value gap. We have a little fair value gap here that I want to see get used as inversion. See if we just want this to be here. We're back at that new day opening gap, constant encroachment. And this inversion for value gap right here. Train up into that. I trade into that 15-second civvy. Would want to see this get respected. Also, that 1 minute Sibi. And that inversion fair value gap. Okay, a little immediate rebalance there at the previous candle low. Does this look bullish right now? Not at all. I want to see us roll over here. Still holding that new day opening gap constant encroachment. I wouldn't want to see us lose that. Yeah, this is kind of... We still have this Sibi, so... Look at the bodies respecting that. I want to see it kind of get heavy here. I do like ES's market structure here. Look at this volume imbalance, constant encroachment. And now we have these equal lows. Still haven't left that constant encroachment. If we trade above the Cibi, I'm kind of done with the bearish bias. And we could want to attack this midnight opening range. The 5-minute chart doesn't look very nice for a bearish bias right now. We're still bullish on the 5-minute. Coming back to this volume imbalance here. We're going to end stream here soon and just watch what it wants to do. Nothing that I want to force myself to be in front of. Hopefully y'all have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow. I might go live tomorrow, but other than that, right now, I'm kind of just looking at, do you want to trade into this previous midnight opening range? Hopefully y'all have a good rest of your day, and I will see you guys